It is not looking good for cycling industry as a whole right now. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the bicycle industry and how they're battling post-pandemic record low numbers. Talk about what they're trying to do to go ahead and combat the inventory surplus that everyone has, and also give some of my thoughts on what's going on with this whole industry and my experience with it with my store as is. So hopefully you guys enjoy. And before we get into today's video, I make these videos to give you guys a different perspective, you guys being consumers, as what goes on behind the scenes with retailers, distributors, manufacturers, everything like that, because I do see the different insight from my side than what you guys see over there as well. And I always do these videos talking about, oh, there's this big inventory surplus, or there's going to be deals soon and stuff like that. And I do get a maybe half and half comments of people saying, oh, I don't see any deals where I'm at, or oh, I don't see inventory surplus over here. It's hard to find. It's relative, and it's also in perspective of wherever you are. Obviously, if you live in the middle of nowhere, you might have a better chance of finding something because it's not as in demand. But in the area where I am, in the South Florida area, or even in the United States, or even in the crazy countries in Europe or whatever, there is still a crazy demand for this product. So there are companies still struggling with this massive surplus. There are some products that are still out of stock that you can't find, but then there's also a ton of products that like have a bunch of back logs of years worth of inventory. So I make these videos to go ahead and bring some kind of insight, and also for my other fellow workforce in the bicycle industry, maybe they're going through the same struggling, and to maybe just provide some education in this same subject as well, if maybe they're looking for some help. So I'm making this video coming off this article right here, which was published on July 13th. And this came out, and I was thinking about making a video, but I was like, and then I was like, yeah, let me talk about it, because it's always good conversation. QBP and TPC make staff reductions. Now, if you guys did not know, QBP is Quality Bicycle Products, and also TPC is their Pros Closet. So we go ahead and read this article. Distribution, Quality Bicycle Products, and retailer The Pros Closet each announced workforce reduction this week. Each cited the industry's inventory challenges as a cause. So basically, they're reducing their employees because of the fact that they have so much inventory and challenges that comes with that. QBP said they reduced their workforce by 5% on Wednesday as a whole, which is a pretty big number if you think about the company as a whole. They have 4 warehouses. They're one of the biggest distributors out there for the US brand and also Canada brand in terms of bicycle products, anywhere from Shimano SRAM group sets, tires, cranks, chain rings, bicycles. They even do salsa. They do everything. Everything under the sun that you can buy at a bicycle store, you can usually buy from them. So they stock this stuff as well. The distributor said the layoffs affected multiple departments, and the company's U.S. facility and U.S. and Canadian distribution center remain open and fully operational. After this article came out, in my store as well, after this article came out and I went to our Quality Bicycle page product, they put a little note there saying, due to staffing issues, if you place an order on Monday, it might not go out until Wednesday. So it's not going to be, if you place it for next day shipping on Monday, it won't get there Tuesday. It might get fulfilled Wednesday and then ship out next day Thursday. So not only does we have this issue with 50 employees who lost their job. Obviously, I feel really bad for that situation as well. It's very crappy news to hear that. 50 people lost their job and now have to struggle to find work somewhere else. But it also affects everyone else in this workforce as well, to the point of it affects our business now because of the fact that people are wondering where this product is, and it's already slow shipping stuff that's still going on, and these delays adds to that as well. QBP laid off about 50 employees last September, so they already did one layoff of 50 employees last September. It also recently closed down its mechanic school in Colorado. So they shut down a whole mechanic school in Colorado, and they wrote an article on this on June 1st as well. Quality closes Colorado Mechanical School, where they actually teach maybe bicycle enthusiasts or maybe bike shop employees who want to get professionally trained mechanical skill set. They would teach them there, and QBP would have a building there, or they would have employees to teach them and all a bunch of school stuff, but they had to close all that down. The company said the latest layoffs were a result of industry over inventory. And this is what I always stress. I've been saying this for the longest time in all my videos where I go over these kind of recaps. There is a big surplus of it. Your stores might not show it. They might not be doing massive deals, but you're seeing the biggest names in the industry, Specialized, Trek, Zip, Envy, do massive blowouts of their inventory, and they're doing crazy long sales without even it's not even like, hey, we're doing a week flash sale. It's like months on end, and they're clearing out their inventory. You could say it affects the retailers, but I'm not going to lie to you that ever since Specialized launched that sale, me being a Specialized seller, it has brought in a ton of new customers who are either on the fence about buying or maybe not considering buying. They saw the price reduction and they brought them into our store to go ahead and buy the product. So that was a big push by them. It was able to clear out some inventory we had in our floor to go ahead and move some product and also bring in some other natural sales to our store as well. So you're seeing these big name people take advantage of this and act early and move off their product. You don't want to be stuck with all this old inventory because new inventory is going to come out and then it's going to be even worth nothing. And also, a lot of these people bought a ton of this inventory during COVID times, which was at the highest of the high, and now you're seeing them sell for the lowest of the low. And I already talked about that. If you buy $200,000 worth of inventory at the highest of the high, and you're sitting on it, you're like, oh, all my money's invested into this, and then all of a sudden, your partner or your seller is like, hey, you know what? All your inventory is now worth $100,000 because we're doing crazy sales. You immediately lose half your inventory like that. And now you're selling off all your inventory. Even if you bought it when it was, you're trying to sell for it. No consumer will come to your store and buy it for this much because of the fact you said, hey, I bought it when it was this. I can't sell it for lower. They're like, okay, I'm just going to go here and buy it for this. So make sure you're keeping your inventory. You're making aware of what your partners or what your manufacturers or distributors are doing, because of the fact you don't want to be caught with your pants down and with old inventory. You want to sell what they're selling for as well. And don't invest the house into inventory because it's never safe. This was a painful decision that impacted talented teammates and friends who made meaningful contributions to QBP. So obviously they said the layoffs were necessary to stay agile amid current marketing conditions. So again, I made a video recently. Let me pull it up. I made a video recently where I said, where is the new SRAM Red Road group set? And I said that I was thinking that the reason why SRAM Red has not dropped yet is because of the fact that there's so much abundance of SRAM Red stuff. Now, what I meant is that during that pandemic time, SRAM was fulfilling a lot of these orders and dealing to a lot of dealers. They were selling. So these companies like Quality, J&B, SRAM, everyone was like, hey, they're selling all their inventory. They need more. We're ordering more. So they're ordering based off of what they're selling through, which is a crazy record high time, and everyone's making a crap ton of profits. So they obviously are ordering from factories. All of a sudden, it's taking with all these shipping delays, all these factory delays, all this everything like that kind of delays. It comes to a screeching halt. People are no longer buying. Product shows up. Companies cancel their orders. They want to look out for themselves. And then you have retailers like manufacturers like Quality, JBI, Holley, SRAM. Everyone's holding on to this old SRAM now, and they have an abundance of this inventory, and the fact they're not able to sell it. So I'm telling you right now, the reason why, sorry, my kid was screaming my name for the other room. The reason why I don't think the SRAM was releasing a new product when they're releasing everything else new under the sun, new mountain bike launch, new SRAM Force revamp. The reason why I don't think they released a new SRAM Red is because of the fact that there's so much inventory. And I keep on stressing the fact of there is a ton of inventory left. And the companies that are not doing what they can to move this stuff, which you're seeing flash deals from competitive cyclists, flash deals from Quality, from our end, flash deals from SRAM Direct. You're seeing a lot of these people try to move this stuff. Also, what comes on is you have the Pros Closet. Now, the Pros Closet, this is a complete different animal itself. The Pros Closet really took off during the pandemic time, obviously because of the fact that there's a huge demand for used bikes. And also there's a huge demand for reselling of these bikes. So us as a retailer, if you had a bicycle person come into the store and they want to buy a new bike, I could sell it off to Pros Closet and say, hey, I have a customer who wants to buy a new bike from me. They want top dollar for their used bikes. Used bikes were selling as is. The Pros Closet was buying these bikes as a premium, taking in to sell as another premium. So they took in all this inventory, literally at an all-time high. And then now they're stuck with this inventory at an all-time high. And then you have all this new product coming out, 2023s and 2024s, kind of prices coming in, not crazy low, but back to almost pre-COVID prices. So without that COVID tax. And it is affecting their business model. They even went to a point where the Pros Closet was a full e-commerce website. Now they went to a retail store where you can actually go into a place and check it out. They have an abundance of everything. They have components, tires, frames. They have high-end stuff, 2024, 2023 bicycles for lower than retail costs in here. And not only that, you have bikes that are premium bikes. I'm seeing S-Works bikes, 2017 for $4,800. I know it's a 5-year-old bike or 6-year-old bike, whatever it is, 8-year-old bike, whatever it is. But still, that's a premium bike for $4,800 compared to what a modern bike is today. So they were probably giving this person for this bike probably $4,800. They probably bought that thing for $4,800 during that pandemic time, and now they can't get rid of it. So they have this crazy amount of abundance bikes and all this inventory, and now they can't get rid of it. So confirmed that it made work for the reductions. The company declined and say how many employees or what percentage of staff was affected. So they really didn't give a number of how many people were let go or the percentage of was let go. The unprecedented amount of discounted new bike inventory in the market poses a particular challenge for our business model. With that, we have made it a difficult decision to reduce our staff to ensure financial health and business in current economic climate, said the Pros Closet general manager. Right now in South Florida, summertime for us, I know people would think this is crazy, is the slowest time of our year. Our economy is affected by snowbirds coming down, nice cool weather out where it's actually able to ride. When it's snowy out in the north, people vacation down here, and that's when we get a ton of sales for new bikes. Summertime is our slowest time, so we're in survival mode. Everyone down here in this Miami area is in survival mode, and it's very slow for us. But this information coming from everyone in the world, when I talk to JBI reps, when I talk to quality reps, when I talk to big name manufacturer reps, and they're all saying the same thing, they're dead slow, they're just surviving, is very scary. And again, this just goes right off of this. With the amount of discounted new bike inventory in the market pose a particular challenge. So like again, with Pros Closet, let's say even just 9 road bikes, but mountain bikes, where they're buying mountain bikes up like crazy, you have companies like Specialized and Trek running bikes that were $6,000 for a carbon fiber expert stump jumper, and they're reducing it down to $4,000. Who's going to buy a used $4,000 carbon fiber bike when you get a $6,000 carbon fiber bike for $4,000 new? You know, literally, the Pros Closet is selling used goods for the price of what these companies are selling new goods for, and it's quality products as well. So it's very difficult. Look at it. You got free shipping on parts over $50, 25% off, stuff like that. Everyone's running sales right now, and it's hurting everybody. It was just a crazy shock, like I said, to me for this. And it still goes the same. We're still having sales. We're still having the want for stuff, but that entry level and mid-tier stuff, that $2,000 to $5,000 kind of category of road bikes and mountain bikes, are still very slow. Very, very slow. That kind of middle-class consumer isn't there anymore. The demand right now is just for the 1%ers, the S-Works, the top-tier stuff, the ultimate buyers, people who literally have money. This economy is not affecting it. They don't really care as much. We still have people buying the $4,000 wheels, the $5,000 group sets, this $14,000 bikes because of the fact that they are not hurting for it. The only issue that's happening with those sales now is that when they come in with an older bike and they're trying to get some money for it, it's literally nothing. And maybe then these companies like the Pros Closet would take advantage of that, where the 1%ers just want to unload their bike for X amount of dollars just to get out of their face because they don't want to take up garage room. And yes, but it is very scary to see this. If there's any example if there's any advice I give to any kind of retailers out there, even big companies like this, make sure you focus on yourself, keep track of inventory. Even if there's people out there who are asking you for sales or maybe saying, hey, we have a great deal on this stuff, there's a blowout on it. Obviously the blowout, there's a reason for that blowout, is because of the fact they want to move it. They want to get their money out of it. Make sure you have the money in the bank account to go ahead and buy it, and don't just buy it because of the fact that everyone's out there. You just go up and down bicycle retailer. Court declares Van Moof officially bankrupt. Possible asset sale. Sluggish bike-related demand leads to Thule sales declined. I'm not good at reading. I'm sorry, guys. I have super bad dyslexia. 3T's new dealer program just in time during industry challenges. Basically, 3T is saying that you don't have to opt into a preseason program where it takes a retailer, which 3T will basically come to me and say, hey, give us X amount of money if you want to be a dealer. So give us a dedicated order. So 3T is basically saying, hey, order what you need from us, and we'll fill it as we go. That way, they're not stuck with product. We're not stuck with product. And then let's say that I do fulfill an order. I say, hey, I think I can fill off $200,000 from 3T. And then I can't. I go bankrupt, and then 3T just has a bunch of this product that they have to buy back. Everyone wants to make sure they're taken care of, okay? But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.